Personal accountability is about taking responsibility, not just for your efforts, but for your results. I often say to leaders that I'm working with, you get to a certain stage in your career where nobody gives you credit for your effort. They only think about what kind of results can you create. And a person who's really accountable recognizes that their job is to overcome the obstacles, to figure out the puzzles, and to come up with a result, not just be able to stand up and say, I gave it my best. Personal accountability is really important for a leader, first of all, because they're the example that other people follow. When somebody gets up, that's the head of a country or the head of a company or even the head of a family, and blames or defends or denies and says it wasn't my fault, they're teaching everybody in that sphere of influence that they have that it's okay to play the victim. It's okay to say it's not my job. So leaders set the course, and leaders, the greatest way that leaders lose their integrity or lose their influence with their audience is when they cease to be personally accountable. A leader who's mastered personal accountability, first of all, accepts the responsibility for what doesn't go right and gives other people the credit for what does go right. I think some of the greatest obstacles that leaders face in developing personal accountability is controlling their schedule, controlling their time, and controlling their energy. When I see a leader who's become a victim and they cease to be accountable, it's almost always because they're overwhelmed by all the demands. And the first responsibility for a leader is to manage themselves and to make sure that they're giving the best version of themselves as an accountable leader. I think the first thing that a leader could do today to improve his or her personal accountability is to quit making excuses for all the circumstances around you. I know you've got a tough schedule. I know you've got more things on your task list. I know you've got people that have demands. They want to meet with you. Your job as a leader first is to set the priorities of what's most important and where you can have the maximum impact. And it's the moment that you quit making excuses, you've begun to become a more accountable leader. The organizations that I love to be around, I love to work with, are not organizations where leaders hold other people accountable. I actually think that's kind of a paternal approach. Instead, they're the organizations where everybody learns to be accountable. And that might sound like a subtle twist of words, but in reality, the difference is very powerful when you have an organization where people have learned how to be accountable so that they don't have to be held accountable. It's interesting. I've observed that there's a correlation between personal accountability and confidence. So part of it is having the confidence that, no, I can't control everything, but I can control something. I can't do everything, but I can do something, and what I can do, I should do. That's personal accountability.